What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today we're actually doing round two, but day two of all this crap that has been going on in free agency has officially come to an end, and I didn't feel comfortable making a round two without adjusting our round one. So, for you guys who watched the first one, we do have actually the first round right up here, which of course I was making sure that we did the correct trade with the Cardinals right here. But obviously, all the picks up to pick 18 have stayed the same. Don't really feel like there's too much of a need to change anything there. However, at this pick, the Washington football team's pick, we went Eric Stokes. And it's not that I don't like the pick for Eric Stokes, it's that you guys kind of got a corner, right? You guys got William Jackson. So that kind of solves that need for a cornerback, the need to reach on a corner. So now we're stuck saying, okay, well, we don't need to get a weapon at this point. And our offensive tackle's fine, quarterback's fine, or we should get a weapon, right? But I don't feel like we should be reaching on one at this point. There are guys like Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah on the board. There are guys like Trevon Merrick on the board. Even Elijah Vera-Tucker on the board that teams could try to move up for. So I think honestly, we should be looking at teams that really, really desperately need some of these positions. And I actually did this trade before with the Browns, but the Browns are saying, well, I mean, heck, you could even see potentially, we don't know what the Jayon Brown situation is, but we could see even the Tennessee Titans wanting to go a route like JOK. So he's still on the board. I think the Browns probably are going to be like trying to get something out of him. Could even see a Nick Bolton or Zaven Collins at that pick, though. It's a very intriguing spot because I don't feel comfortable enough going with a slot corner or going with a wide receiver at this spot. It's a very interesting spot. Obviously, if Bateman were here, we'd just take him in a heartbeat. So that is definitely something that I would have considered, but no longer really that big of an issue. It's a tough one. So who would actually want to move up? That's the real question. We want to look at the quarterbacks. There is still Mac Jones on the board. We could just see a one spot jump with Chicago. We've seen him do it before. And to be honest, I might just do it just to say we moved up to get Mac Jones. Again, yes, we got Dalton on the freaking on the Bears. Who cares? No one gives a damn. No one gives a damn that the freaking Dalton's on the board. I honestly think that even the Steelers could be wanting to move up for Mac, but they're balls to the wall mode right now. If I'm gonna be honest, I think they're gonna be definitely keen on trying to make their team better. So just for fun, we're gonna be moving up with the Bears one spot with Washington. Plus, I mean, what? That's an extra potential weapon down the line for Washington. We're gonna see what it takes. Six. Okay, good. So we're gonna see. I'm not gonna be trading that pick. So we're gonna potentially trade a next year four. It's a one spot move up. So hopefully they do accept this offer, and they did. So obviously the Bears might suck next year. So that might turn into an early fourth, which is the equivalent of a late third for Washington to move back one spot and let the Bears get Mac Jones. I still think that it's a good pick, and you can never be mad with it. Jermaine Ifedi just went back to the Bears, so there definitely is there's a need of a quarterback there. They just wanted to get Dalton to say they had something besides Nick Foles, and now they got basically a better version of all of them. So Mac Jones is probably going to start, but again, Andy Dalton's an amazing backup. Nick Foles, very good backup. So now it's time to get a good starter to come in. And Washington, you're still back on the board, and we're still looking at teams that could use a guy like Tevin Jenkins, a team that could be using a younger tackle in Liam Eichenberg. And you know what? I mean, the Jaguars could be moving up for this. We're seeing teams. We saw two teams right here that could use a tackle. Three teams that could potentially use a tackle. And the Jaguars, I mean, they could be going after Radunes. I mean, that wouldn't be a horrible pick at all. I'm not gonna lie, that wouldn't be a horrible pick. But for the sake of keeping it interesting and keeping it fun, I think Urban Meyer's gonna want to go out and get it. And we see how good the talent of a guy, excuse me, like Jalen Mayfield is. So even if we could toss in a third rounder here, which we're not going to do that, we're going to try to toss in a next year third. Washington again. If you guys do not win this year, I don't think you need the pieces right now. I don't really feel like there's a real need to be building for this offseason. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. You guys can bounce back on that idea. We honestly we'll throw in the third here, and then we'll throw in the fourth as well. We're gonna put 2/4 to move up all these spots, which again, we already have a fourth, but these will accumulate into trade up spots because I think we're gonna try to be a little bit more aggressive in the next round. I just feel like the value is right, and if we're able to be fair, yeah, I'm gonna flip this for a next year fourth. So we're gonna get value over years. The Jaguars are going to be trying to build a good roster, and they already pretty much have. So they're going to be pretty ballsy here and go after Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan. Definitely going to be somebody who's probably going to go off the board even before this, given his age. But I'm a big fan of it. Leaving the Colts to be sitting here, and you guys already know where I want to go with this. I want to go Eichenberg all the way. Tevin Jenkins is on the board, but again, if you want to kick Nelson to guard and kick Jenkins into kick Nelson from guard to tackle, then kick Jenkins from tackle to guard, okay. But I don't think you really need to do that. I think you just go out and get your guy. I got the Colts some draft capital last time. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. So going to definitely rock that route. Tennessee, again, you go weapon here, but Janoris Jenkins is pretty much your starting cornerback. You lost Odori Jackson as well as Malcolm Butler. Eric Stokes still on the board, but we are going to go Greg Newsome. You guys seem to enjoy that pick. Again, we could go linebacker here depending on, like, obviously what the state of Jayon Brown is, but you need some help. And Greg Newsome apparently ran a 4.31. Did not remember him running 4.31. I thought he ran like 4.38 or something like that. But I mean, if he ran 4.31, these guys are so fast. And again, pro day times, I'm not really too huge on that. But the Jets, I'm sticking to my pick here, guys. I'm a huge fan of Robert Saleh and Gregory Rousseau. I know one of you guys commented on saying that I should have went a different route there, but I mean, I'm just a huge fan of Greg. That's a huge thing for me. I'm a big fan of Gregory Rousseau if he's combined with Robert Saleh. Again, if you are able to maximize Rousseau's talent, he's worth a top 10 pick in this class. Easily. So Rousseau is going to be a steal this late round. And the Steelers, again, we already know where we're going to be rocking with this. It's either Raduns or Jenkins. And I mean, the Steelers might like Raduns a little bit more, but I know the Steelers want to establish that run game. So we're going to go with the same old pick as last time. Now Washington's up. Now they're saying, okay, well, we got Terrace Marshall here. We got Kadarius Toney. I think Terrace Marshall is a good idea, but I think Scary Terry kind of fits that role really well. I like Kadarius Toney. I know you guys probably want Rondale Moore in the second round a little bit more, no pun intended, but that's not going to happen. I'm actually more of a fan of Kadarius Toney at this spot. We could look at linebackers, though. To be fair, we could definitely look at a linebacker. Could look at JOK to play your slot and linebacker to kind of screw over the Browns, who I was funnily trying to trade up for JOK. That wouldn't be a horrible idea, especially since we now have the draft capital to move up in the draft. Watch out for one of those. You know what? I want you guys to bounce back on this idea because you guys don't have a slot corner, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't really matter. You guys don't have really that much girth in your linebacking core to the point where I really think that you're solidified. Also, you never know. You could cut Landon Collins eventually, and then JOK could take that box safety role. I don't know. I'm actually starting to fall in love with this idea. Sorry, Browns. You're screwed. JOK off the board. Also, with the signing of John Johnson, I was starting to feel a little bit uneasy. You could probably tell when I was doing that. I started feeling a little bit uneasy there. This is going to be a long video just because I have to reorganize the rest of the end of the first round. But the Browns are sitting here, and again, we could, of course, go an edge. Takk McKinley is not going to be like the guy who you're pretty much saying, oh, well, since we have him, we're not going to get anybody else. I think this would be a good spot for a linebacker, though. I really wouldn't mind it at all. They could use a slot corner, but again, really, like, we're not going to take one in the round one. Nick Bolton is on the board, and if this division if it really wants to, I mean, it is so run heavy. You got Joe Mixon just signed a huge contract, right? You have Lamar Jackson over there with J.K. Dobbins. The Steelers trying to get a run game, get one of the better run defenders in Nick Bolton. Obviously, his pass coverage is not the best, but Mac Wilson is honestly not too shabby in pass coverage, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken on that one. So if you guys could always push back, it's always nice to hear from you guys. But the Ravens are sitting here on the board, and again, I would like to pull the trigger on an edge player here. But I think of Ronnie Perkins in the second is going to be a lot better value than Azeez Ojulari in the first to a team that historically, we're going to be realistic here, wants to go after those later round guys. I'm still sticking to Terrace Marshall here. I've been actually watching some Jamar Chase all 22 tape. I can't show it to you guys right now, even though I got permission to, just because I don't want to potentially show you guys the files and stuff. But keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing some scouting draft profiles, so please keep your eye out for that one. With the Saints here, I mean, like, damn, you guys are pursuing a corner so heavily that I don't know if we can pass up on corner here. A wide receiver 2 could be it's another huge need along with edge. There's a lot of different ways we should go. I'd be honestly looking to trade back from the spot, but then again, your linebacking core is so bad too. Man, like looking at the linebackers, it's like, I mean, I could even see Jamin Davis at this spot. I think that again, I talked about this before. I don't know if Zaven has the actual speed to deal with guys like Christian McCaffrey in this division. It's a very pass-centric division now. If you're gonna not include, I mean, if you're gonna talk about Christian McCaffrey on his own, I mean, the dude is pretty much a receiving threat, and obviously you got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore there. You got to be able to cover the middle. Zaven Collins is good at coverage. I just don't know if he's fast enough. I don't think they care. They see the Packers in the next spot. They're like, dude, he's going within the next 2 picks anyways. Like, let's at least take a shot on him. Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. Sorry, Packers fans, but we have to rock that pick. Really do. I would go after a cornerback, but we just couldn't do that. At this spot, I'd be looking at Eric Stokes here. I know I said he wasn't really a good man corner. Pretty sure you guys run cover 4 or cover 3. So I mean, it wouldn't. I think you guys do run cover 4. So Eric Stokes wouldn't be a bad option for you guys whatsoever. Looking at the wide receivers, you could get Kadarius Toney or Rondale Moore, another really good option. Linebackers, again, a little bit barren. So that's unfortunate, and that's a new development going on right now. If we're going to be honest, I think we can see a trade back here. If we're going to look at the next teams, they're not going to get a wide receiver. They're not going to get a wide receiver. They could get a wide receiver, but I don't know if they're – I'm starting to shift off that idea. They're not going to get a wide receiver either. Don't really see that. We're having the Jets trade up. Yeah, exactly. The Jets are trading up with the Packers. So it's not that big of a jump. That's the nice thing. We're seeing the Jets move up with the Packers. And again, the Packers, they don't really need to use this. Packers fans are going to get pissed. All right. But you guys are going to be getting an elite weapon at the start of this next round. So we're going to try to see if we can trade a 4th for this. We're going to give them a next year. We're going to give them next year 5th as well, just to be a consolation package to get out of the first round. 5th round pick for a 5th year option. And this is where we're seeing Elijah Vera-Tucker go. This is a guy who you guys were saying I should probably go after. And dude, if you fit him in that right guard spot, who has the potential to be right tackle as well, I'm a huge fan of that. Again, Van Roten, not my vibe. Not my vibe at all. So getting Elijah Vera-Tucker there, I mean, woof. I sound like a dog, I know. So the Bills are sitting here. It's like, ooh, this is a good spot for a corner. I know I went Javonte Williams before, but you got Eric Stokes here who runs in the 4-2s. Yeah, you're taking it. I'm sorry. I would love to have just been like, dude, let's stick to the Javonte Williams thing. Not gonna happen. All right. I might as well as I'm gonna just name this rounds 1 to 2, just because again, you guys can review the first something picks. If you guys want to see them, there you go. You guys can see the trades on my previous video. But the Chiefs sitting here, they got to go tackle. And again, Radunes is on the board. You take Radunes. I don't give a shit. You're getting Radunes. Like, I'm sorry. The Buccaneers are on the board again. I don't think a wide receiver is a good option. I do love this ETN idea. You guys tried to use Leonard Fournette as more of this pass catching back. ETN's going to be a great lightning to the Thunder, and you're gonna be able to run it back now, because again, that's the one hole that's still left on your roster. Could look at Javonte Williams there or Najee Harris, but ETN is going to be that pass catching threat out of the backfield. Big fan of that. With the Jaguars on the board, I mean, shoot. You guys have filled a lot of needs, by the way. I don't think that wide receiver is a need anymore. You guys, it never really was a need, but you guys got Marvin, what's his name? Marvin Jones for a really good contract, by the way. So I'm looking at safety at this spot. Trayvon Merrick's on the board. I know you guys would probably be like, well, why are we getting him at this spot? But we definitely could. We could look at a slot corner here with like Aaron Robinson. I could honestly see that. It could be a good spot to trade down, but I know, honestly, I'd be picking Merrick right there at 35. So we're going to be going Trayvon Merrick here. You know, definitely somebody who's not the best in the run game, but he had a pretty good coverage grade. guys were catching balls on him, but he was sticking hand in hand with them. So I like that idea that he can continue to develop his his ball skills, and then he'll combine that with his coverage skills to be a really damn good safety. You guys brought on 2 safeties, I believe, in like Rashawn Jenkins and something, but I mean, I'm not seeing those guys as long-term starters. I see those guys as somebody who could patch up in case you don't get a safety that you want. Now the Packers are sitting here and it's like, wow, well, we could still get a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. here, or we can also get a guy like Kadarius Toney. Sorry, guys. I'm going ASJ. I think that you guys should definitely get the second corner before a weapon, and you're getting it at pick 34, and you added a fourth, and then next year fifth. Especially when you guys don't have a center or anything, that's going to be very crucial down the line. So keep watching for that. With the the Falcons, I was definitely looking for being able to get a cornerback for you guys. I'm going to be honest. I cannot remember, of course, all the Zoom stuff's right here. I cannot remember who you guys have picked up so far. Lee Smith. Yeah, that's probably why I can't fucking remember. So we're actually going to be closing out of this tab because we no longer need it. We are now officially onto our new draft board. So that's going to be fun. I think that Pease was running, he was definitely running more of that 4-3-3-4 hybrid because obviously you can use either of these guys in there, and Azeez Ojulari or Jason Oweh. And again, Tack McKinley's gone. I don't really see too much of a threat on the outside. Azeez Ojulari is my pick. You know, he could definitely be more of that Harold Landry role for this defense. I'm a huge fan of that idea. Huge fan of that idea. You guys can definitely push it back. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. But the Dolphins are on the board, and I mean, I could still take Jalen Phillips here, but I have plans down the line with like a Quincy Roche or a Jordan Smith or even Patrick Jones, where I think that the value is a little bit better here for a star running back in Javonte Williams. Again, I don't like the idea of selling out for Tua if we don't know if Tua is the guy. Najee Harris could definitely help compete for this year, but he is I forget the name for this, but it's a trait in 2K where it's like volume shooter. It might be the name for it, but you continue racking up the reps, and that's why you like kind of you get used to it. He has the ball always in his hands, and it's because he doesn't have a good running back too. Javonte's used to RBBC, and that's perfectly fitting what the Dolphins want to run. So guys, please try to listen and try to think about schemes. Otherwise, it's a no-go. Again, huge fan of this idea of Asante Samuel to the Packers. You Packers fans definitely like that pick. With the Eagles now, I would be definitely looking more into this weapon route because we did get Kyle Pitts, but we still could use a wide receiver. I could use a cornerback as well. I mean, I was looking at ASJ at this pick. That's another reason why I chose ASJ at that spot. We could go Tyson Campbell here. You know, it is something that we definitely could pull off. We want to see what have the Eagles done. You know, they've done jack shit. I'm pretty sure they haven't signed a single person. Yeah, they haven't signed anything. So thanks to NFL.com for being able to help us out with this. This could be a good spot for a trade back, though, because I'm looking at the linebackers as well. Might want to go Jamin Davis, but we need to pick up some extra picks because we need to get wide receivers. We need to get some offensive lineman depth. We need to get safeties, and we need to get corners. It's a quarterback is a third issue. That's complete horseshit. But to me, I want to trade back a little bit from this spot, especially since we missed out on the prime corner that I'd be looking for. Again, we do run a zone scheme, but ASJ definitely could fit. I mean, dude, these corners usually can fit these roles, and there's guys like freaking Kadarius Toney on the board that we probably need to address, along with Christian Barmore, Aaron Robinson. So, what's a team that needs a slot corner? I'm looking right here at the Lions, and what do we do for the Lions in the first? We got him Jalen Waddle. Yeah, we're moving up with the Lions. Actually, that's funny. Usually the Lions are moving back, so we're definitely going to be making sure that Aaron Robinson is taken here because Aaron Robinson is a perfect slot corner for what the Lions are looking for. Again, look at all these picks that they have. Like they have capital. And then what? The Eagles are moving down 4 spots and they're picking up a 5th round pick. That to me is going to add a center. You see already how many picks that they do have. They're going to have even more. And then also that'll accumulate to next year's picks as well because they can probably package those and try to trade them away. But this is going to be Aaron Robinson here. I think people are underrating him because he's an excellent run defender as well. This division, I mean, I think the Lions aren't that far away. Realistically, they aren't that far away. We're going to get them some weapons as well. Trust me, I was thinking about getting Kadarius Toney there for the record. But we have to be able to fix that defense too, man. I'm telling you, you got to fix up that defense. If you guys want to see, of course, what the Lions did, we could just quickly check it out. Again, they already got Tyrell Williams there, so it's at least one weapon that they do have. This wide receiver class is so deep. I don't think the slot corner class is deep at all. So that honestly might increase their value to where we need to take them now. So the Bengals, whew, whew. Ooh, this is tough because Jalen Phillips might be a good pick here. Wyatt Davis could be another good developmental prospect for you guys. Alex Leatherwood, kicking him to guard, it might be the best pick if we're going to be honest. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's something that you got to like wrestle with to be like, ooh, you could use Leatherwood as a tackle, and if he fails, you can still use him as a guard, or you can just plug him in as guard day one. It's a tough one, guys. And to be honest, I mean, this might be a good spot to move out as well. You know, we could, I mean, there's still guys like Trey Smith on the board, and there's Trey Smith, Wyatt Davis, as well as Creed Humphrey, who, again, I have him as a third round guard, would fit perfectly into what you're looking for here. So it's like, what other people are on the board? What other guys are on the board? Again, also, you have Alex Leatherwood still on the board. You have plenty of options to fit in. You still have Kadarius Toney on the board. And with the Bengals, it's like, where do we rock? Like, what teams might want to move up for a Kadarius Toney, for a Rondale Moore? You can be looking at teams like even the Panthers could be trying to replace Curtis Samuel, right? We could even see teams like the Cardinals trying to move up for somebody. You still, I mean, we already fixed the wide receiver issue there. Washington could try to make a big move, not to mention the Packers. So, I mean, think this is a good spot for Washington because, again, the Bengals, they got to fix up this team. But I think there are going to be some dudes who are falling. And therefore, I mean, we're going to make a huge trade. Washington's moving up. So we moved back quite a bit. And I told you guys, we're going to gain capital, right? We're going to be trading in one of our third round picks. That's perfectly fine. Look, we can trade back into the third. We're going to ask for like a seventh in return. I'm actually quite surprised. That was actually the perfect value. So we're going to ask for like a next year seventh in return just to get some extra value. I don't like ever doing two picks for one. But again, we're moving all the way up for a guy like Kadarius Toney. Look at that. So we moved back and we gained a shit ton of draft capital. We got JOK, right? And now we're getting Kadarius Toney as well. By the way, he would be gone. I was gonna have a team trade up for him anyways. So this is a big trade. And then again, now also the Bengals have some firepower to move back up if they want to. You know, Alex Leatherwood was somebody who I was thinking at this spot as well. We could honestly go a corner here too, but I'm not liking the prospect at left tackle right now. With Taylor Moton as franchise tagged, I think you got to make sure that left tackle spot is filled. Alex Leatherwood all the way. Somebody, again, you're taking a shot on it, but it's worth it. It's really worth it, especially when your team is still developing. You got Trey Lance there too. I would have loved to. I was thinking about trading up actually with the Bills and just saying screw it, or like even right here with the Saints, I was thinking about trading up with the Panthers to get Raduns just to be able to pair up him and his good old buddy Trey Lance, but couldn't come to fruition. Next with the Broncos, I mean, we probably want to go a linebacker here. If we're going to be honest, we could definitely go a linebacker. Running back, I don't know if that's really the route that we want to go, but it's a tough one because I'm definitely looking in this linebacker route. You know, somebody who I think would be a really good fit on this team, Jamin Davis. If you guys haven't seen him, he had 11 starts. Wasn't even supposed to start this year. And he just balled out, man. He would look so good. He played so well this year. And my guy Mason wrote up a full report on him. It was a great report. So big fan of that. With the Eagles on the board, though, I mean, Najee Harris is still on the board. This is a place where, again, you can trade back and get more draft capital. We, of course, could get another corner, but we have so many needs. Again, Kelvin Joseph's not that great. But I'm looking at Tyson Campbell here. Keith Taylor, to me, is the perfect target. I'm not going to be reaching for him at this spot, though. Again, we could use a linebacker, but we still have guys like Jabril Cox, Pete Werner, Chaz Surratt, all these guys who could definitely be starters on our roster. Wide receiver-wise, we could even go a guy like I'm not going to go anywhere with that, but even like a De'Ami Brown, Tylan Wallace, I think that's going to be perfectly fine if we push back in this draft. Again, there's Najee Harris and Christian Barmore on the board. Looking at teams that could use an interior defensive lineman, we could even see the Dallas Cowboys, but we're obviously not trading in division. Made that mistake in the last video. But I'm looking at a team like the Cardinals that could want a running back to just be a true power back. It doesn't really work to me, but I'm not really seeing too many teams that would want to move up unless the Steelers are just saying screw it, which they are. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it interesting. The Steelers are going to make a big move. They usually don't like to make big trades, but Najee Harris on the board. And again, it's the Steelers draft philosophy right now to win now. And I think it's bullshit. But, the Steelers are going to be offering, look how many picks we have, guys. We're going to be offering this fourth along with a next year third. I mean, the Steelers love to trade like, oh, we'll give you a 2, a 3, and a next year 2, something like that. But again, we're going to see, maybe we can give that. We'll give a 3, and we're going to ask for a pick in return, of course. So we're going to ask maybe for a 4th in return. That'll make it a little bit more even, a little bit more understandable. So the Steelers are giving up some draft capital to move up to take Najee Harris. So again, you're trying to make sure Ben has everything he needs. You have a run game now. You have your offensive line pretty much set. You got to get a center there. But of course, I wish Rodney Hudson would go to the Steelers and just say, screw it, we'll draft a tackle and then have a complete offensive line again. But you never know what's going to happen. But again, this is going to be a great pick. The Steelers definitely need to make sure that happens. With the Giants on the board, it's like, I mean, I wish that Azeez Ojulari was there. He's not. All right. So looking at the next options, we're going to look at Jason Oweh here. Again, we could rock Jalen Phillips, but you guys know me. I think that it's going to be a big issue with his concussion injury. So could even look at Pat Freiermuth here if you want to replace Evan Engram. Again, this could be another good trade down spot. I think that all these spots are good trade down spots. I don't feel like this is the right spot to take anybody, but Jason Oweh is a guy with so much potential. Why not? You're just sitting there, and why not? He was 4.3 speed at his pro day, and that's pretty special. 4.3 speed at the end. That's freaking insane. So again, Zeke Elliott's not going to like the fact that Jason Oweh is going to have some guys pass rushing right up in his grill, but that's huge. That's huge for this team. With the Niners on the board again, I mean, we could be going edge at this spot. I know D Ford did restructure his contract though. So this might be where we rock a corner just because, again, we didn't really need to value it in the first, but now might be a good time to value it. Could even go safety here. I'm going to be rocking Tyson Campbell though. He is a bigger corner. You do want that more Richard Sherman type, but again, he's pretty much a faster Richard. I comped him to Byron Jones. Super athletic, like him a lot. And that, I don't know how the hell this happened. That leaves the Cowboys. Again, I was thinking about trading up here, but can't do interdivisional trades. Christian Barmore. Don't understand how he felt, but cheers. With the Jaguars, this to me, I would personally go Brevin Jordan here. That's just personal preference. But I do know the NFL probably wants to be going more for the Pat Freiermuth route. So with the better blocking, he's going to be more of a secure catcher. And again, you guys have enough slot weapons. So I think honestly it's a better fit too. We're going to go Pat Freiermuth at this spot. Big fan of that too. It's a good pick. With the Patriots on the board, we don't even know what the hell they need anymore. If we're going to be honest, I don't even know what the hell they need. They could use some extra wide receiver depth. And honestly, they don't really have a gadget weapon. They have some good wide receivers. They don't have a gadget weapon. They're just going all in on this year, and they're going to be going Rondale Moore. That's a perfect pick because, again, you got some guys who are good slot weapons, but not somebody who is so elite with the ball in their hands. Again, Kendrick Bourne's pretty good, but nothing like a Rondale Moore. This is where you can take a shot on a Rondale Moore, even put him at running back and use him that way. Big fan of that. With the Chargers on the board, we got to go corner here, guys. It was we did lose some good corner play right there. I'm looking at Keith Taylor here. That could be a good target, man. Shoot. I mean, I'm sorry to the Eagles fans, but this is just so much of a need, right? Like it is a bad need. We could also go safety here with a guy like Javon Holland who could play slot corner as well. Oh, I mean, I think the value is a bit better for a Javon Holland than anything, though. I think we're going to do that. We're going to replace Jenkins with a guy like Javon Holland who could also play boundary corner or slot corner. That's going to be very crucial for this team all around. Derwin James, Javon Holland, I think that's going to be super, super, super good. With the Raiders, you guys have to get a blitzing Sam linebacker. So for me, that's Chaz Surratt all the way. You got to get him. I think that it should be around 230, 240. That's a good enough size. So I'm gonna be rocking Chaz Surratt there. Definitely, you have to get it in this division with all these great passers. Especially with how the Chiefs' offensive line's looking, you got to make sure you can blitz them. So Chaz Surratt, he's pretty much in general on the field. I'm a huge fan of it. And of course, I'm going to stick away from the center route still because I think Rodney Hudson, there is a lot of rumors of him going there. I don't know where to go with this pick though. We could be going a linebacker here with like Baron Browning or Jabril Cox. Oof, it's a toughie. It's a toughie for sure. But honestly, this is a good spot where I can see a team trying to move up. Their Wyatt Davis is still on the board, guys. So I could even see the Bengals trying to move up here. And you know what? I might just do that. We're gonna have the Bengals move up. Oof, okay. Big move. We got the Seattle Seahawks move. Oh, wait. No, we can't do that. They're in the same division. We're having the Bengals move up. I was thinking about having the Seattle Seahawks move up for Trey Smith, by the way. We're having the Seattle Seahawks, not Seattle Seahawks. We're having the Bengals move up with the Cards, just a couple spots. But now they're going to be able to get the guy who they're able to get at the next spot. 6th-round pick should be good enough to move back 2 spots. Jalen Phillips still on the board. Shit. We can go either way. You got to protect Joe Burrow, though. So I'm going to get Wyatt Davis here. He's developmental, out of Ohio State. Big fan of it. And that leaves the Dolphins. Okay, now the Dolphins can get Jalen Phillips. I didn't expect him to fall this far, I'm going to be honest. But that's where you can take him. You'll be perfectly fine. Big fan of that pick right there. And the Cards back on the board. Honestly, Baron Browning wouldn't be a horrible pick here. Can I get Creed Humphrey as a true center? Again, not a fan of him. I would look honestly at Landon Dickerson here. We could go Ronnie Perkins as your 3-4 outside linebacker. That more of that, what's it called? I'm bugging. What's his name? You brought back Marcus Golden, though. You guys don't need to do that. That's the whole entire reason why I look at those things. But I could even look at a guy like Brevin Jordan here. But we're going to shock the world with a wide receiver, and we're going to piss off the Cheeseheads. We're going to go Tylan Wallace here, who I was trying to get to the Cheeseheads, funnily enough. Next with the Bears, tackle, kind of barren right now, guys. So we're going to be trading back right here, probably with a team that is looking for a guy like Landon Dickerson, a good center or a good guard. That's the Seahawks. The team that would not trade Russell Wilson is trading up right now, and I'm quite surprised. Oh, there we go. I was surprised that I couldn't click the trade button that easily. But the Seahawks are moving up, and I mean the Bears are gonna be like, I mean y'all could give us some extra draft capital here. They have jack shit, by the way. So we're gonna be offering a next year 5th, and then maybe next year 7th as well, just to try to peruse the deal through. Get the Bears some extra potential. Okay, the Bears denied it, so we're going to be offering this next year 4. You kind of just have to because Trey Smith's on the board, and that's going to be pretty damn crucial. So get Trey Smith, fill in that left guard spot. That's going to be hella crucial. Going to make sure that the Seahawks did not do anything stupid, and they got Puna Ford, so they have jack shit. That's going to be very crucial for their run game. Big fan of that, too. With the Titans on the board, we got to go weapon here. And Elijah Moore is on the board. I think you got to do it. You got to pair him up. Again, there's so many needs on this fucking squad. But Elijah Moore has to be the pick here. You do have to get at least something of really good talent there. Now, the Colts are on the board, and I do think they should go a corner here. It's either a corner or else we're going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're totally fucking over the Packers right now. I mean, Elijah Molden, you don't need a slot right now. Ifeatu Melifonwu would be a good one. It's Ifeatu or else Keith Taylor. And again, you guys run heavy zone. So I think this might be a good spot to go Melifonwu. But did the Packers go corner? They did. So I'm looking at teams that will go corner. I already know what pick I'm going right here for the Eagles. But I'm seeing a team that might use a corner. Is there any team that will use a zone corner? No, that's a slot corner right there. Until the Bills, which I think the Bills got a corner too, I don't really see anybody getting one. So let's try to trade back here. I mean, the Colts, they stuck, and we got on traded back from before. Again, this is so annoying with the trade button having to move up and down. So looking at a team that could use a center, I would look at the Steelers. Steelers are already off the freaking board. The Ravens could be looking for a target here. Honestly, they're going to be looking for Brevin Jordan. It's the freaking Ravens are moving up. They're trying to invest in their offense right now. So Ravens making moves with the Colts. Again, Colts will probably not want to do this too much just because interdivisional rival, but they're going to get a fifth. I think we got to trade a fifth this year, and we'll trade a sixth next year to be able to move up. Because again, a fifth that's a little bit rough for like a 5 spot jump, and that's going to allow them to get Brevin Jordan here, who again could be a good target for a lot of these teams, but I mean, I just think that's a perfect fit right there. Huge fan of Brevin Jordan in the squad. I was also thinking about using the Bills to move up to get Brevin Jordan because they're in the tight end market apparently. So just didn't really come to fruition given the fact that the Colts probably still want to be in Ifeatu Melifonwu range. The Eagles, I know we got to get wide receiver guys, but we got to get corner. Cornerback 2 to me is super special. I want to check one thing. I want to make sure what the Eagles have done. I'm pretty sure they've done jack squat. Just making sure because, yeah, they've done absolutely nothing. We already checked that earlier. But to me, I think this is Keith Taylor Jr. all the way. I mean, he can play man. He can play zone. He has great size, great speed. He's going to be a perfect pairing with, of course, Darius Big Play Slay. I'm absolutely in love with Keith Taylor. He's more like my 60th player in the draft, and I mean, it's a perfect fit on the Eagles. You guys got a lot of draft capital, so you guys can move up and be able to select more targets. With the Bears sitting here, I mean, wide receiver has to be starting to become a paramount issue. And looking at a guy who could be a true outside threat, I'm looking at De'Ami Brown here all the way, but I'm also looking at Seth Williams. And if we want to look at the guys that Andy Dalton was like more comfortable with, it was guys like Seth Williams. But it also, if you want to look at Mac Jones, probably more of a De'Ami Brown. So since we got, of course, we need to get a tackle though, but I think we got to go with the wide receiver here, De'Ami Brown, sneaking him away from a lot of teams. And the Rams, they don't need edge anymore. I mean, they definitely paid for their edges, but we could definitely look at the linebacker route here. I'm looking at a guy like Baron Brown. I'm looking at a guy like Jabril Cox. I mean, those are legitimate needs. And I mean, if we're looking at the Bills, I think that they're sitting on the board. They're just like, ooh, damn, we could use some of that. But I'm saying probably not. But we could be seeing the Cheeseheads try to move up for a wide receiver, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So the Cheeseheads are moving up because, again, the Rams, I think we got to get offensive line for them. But I also just don't really think there's good enough value on the board for the Rams. So the Cheeseheads are moving up. Again, this could just be a divisional matchup. And again, the Rams might not want to do it. Also, I need to flip the teams. But we'll trade. Of course, I didn't click the previous button, but click there, whatever the hell. Where are the Rams at? There we go. We got the Rams trading back with the Packers because they're going to make the Packers pay, but the Packers got money. Packers got some dough to pay. So they're going to toss in that 4th-round pick right there just to move up and be able – that's why they traded back. Now they're able to move up. Now they're going to be like, oh, now we can pick whoever the hell we want. We got a lot of weapons on the board. We're going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown right here. Pairing him up with his brother Equanimous, it's a good ass pick in my opinion. Big fan of it. Again, they jumped in front of the Colts, who I was trying to pick Amon-Ra St. Brown for. But this spot now, there's no choice in my mind at all. Ifeatu Melifonwu, big fan of it. Browns going Elijah Molden. Again, we could go Sean Wade here, but Elijah is the best slot corner in the draft. Sean Wade could be the best in the end of the day. He could be the best. But we're going to be going Elijah Molden here because I'm a big fan of him. Saints on the board, we could definitely go with a guy like Kelvin Joseph here. But we're going to look at the wide receivers. And Dwayne Eskridge could be a really good guy for this squad. I'm going to be honest, but we're going to be going Seth Williams. We're going to reach right here. Somebody who has a lot of raw talent. But, I mean, you kind of need your Mike Evans, which, again, you have Michael Thomas. But I think that Seth Williams just has that insane speed. He's going to be in the 4.3s. You just have to take him at this spot, and he's just dynamic. He's an electric weapon, man. I'm a huge fan of Seth Williams. So I think that's just it's a good pick. It's a really good pick. Looking at guys who are still on the board, you still got Landon Dickerson here, by the way. I'm quite surprised by that. I like Landon Dickerson a lot, but just the needy teams for a center are. I mean, you can look at the Raiders trying to make a big move, but not many teams are going to want to move this far out of the first round. Look at the running backs that are still available. Can't really go with it for the Bills. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Looking at 4-3 guys, I can see Boogie Basham at this spot. That might mean I might want to trade back. Wide receivers not an issue at all. Just brought back. We're bringing in Emmanuel Sanders, right? So honestly, this is a good spot to trade back a good distance. And looking at the guys on the board, you got Baron Browning. So for a team that needs it, the Chiefs, they're going to be getting probably Baron Browning. Creed Humphrey, not really a vibe, but shoot, I mean, even the Chiefs could be going after Creed Humphrey too, because they definitely need a center. I'm not going to be doing that type of trade because that is pretty much Super Bowl contention. The Rams, I mean, they're going to try to win the Super Bowl, but we'll see how that goes. But looking at the teams who could be moving up, we could even look at the Lions try to move up and try to trade for somebody because, again, they don't have a linebacker. That could be the move. Honestly, I could see it. And it's not that big of a trade to where you're going to be losing out on your guy who you're probably going to want to draft in Boogie Basham. We're seeing the Bills trade out of the first, okay? So that's unfortunate. The Bills are going to be down here. There we go. And we're going to see the Lions be moving up. The Lions are being aggressive today, guys. Again, we have 3 third-rounders, right? Like, that's great. So we're going to be trading actually a next year 4 to be moving up. That's a little bit cheesy. We're going to be, yeah, honestly, we'll do a next year 4 and 7. I like doing these 7th round picks, guys, to be able to move up with the Bills. Again, they're going to be going after Boogie Basham in the next round. And we could have to honestly go after a tackle or something, but we're not going to. We're going to be going after a linebacker, and I think a guy like Baron Browning he's a really talented linebacker, and you need it on the squad. Again, we're going to be going after a lineman with our next pick as well, but that's a huge thing for me. Speaking of linemen, the Rams, I think honestly it's either linebacker or lineman. Another reason why I traded up at that spot. We got to honestly, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. I'm going to go Jabril Cox here though. We're going to go Jabril Cox. Yeah, I think that the linebackers are under 40 PFF grade, and you already know another one might be taken right there. Now the Chiefs are saying they're like, shoot, we got to get a center, y'all. We just paid a lot of money to Joe Toney. We cannot just let Landon Dickerson slide out of the first round. Now you got a pretty solidified line. You got to get a right tackle, and that's it. So that's a pretty good sign, right? So big fan of that, Landon Dickerson on the Chiefs. I mean, he does not deserve to slip out of the second round whatsoever. Now, of course, I mean, David Andrews did walk, so I was definitely thinking down here with like the Rondale Moore thing, we could have went Landon Dickerson. Starting to kind of regret it, but we're gonna just continue pushing on after that. We could even go after Creed Humphrey in the next round if we're gonna be fair. But at this last spot, oh man, I think we got to move out of this spot too. We got to have a little bit of fun here. And speaking of the Patriots, I mean, Bill Belichick has been super aggressive. He's going to be aggressive again, and he's going to be moving up with the team that, well, he's trying to compete against right now. And the Buccaneers are like, dude, we're playing with house money. Like, we just want to make sure that we're going to be balling out. Oh man, that's a really far trade. Not sure if I feel comfortable with that. I want to get that center though, but we're not going to be doing that. That's a little bit ridiculous. Looking at the pass rusher on the board, there's still some good ass pass rushers, man. Shoot, well, there's some really good pass rushers here that I really want to be able to nab one of them. Like looking at the teams that can move up, we're probably gonna honestly we could move up with the Eagles to select Dylan Moses. Just go and run on linebackers right here. Definitely something I'm thinking about, especially since the Eagles have been picking up draft picks. What did we choose with the Eagles? We got Keith Taylor last time. Honestly, screw it. We're moving up with the Eagles. That's also a small trade back for the Buccaneers. So we're going to go to previous here. We're going to flip it to the NFC with the Eagles, who are not really going to do too much. Look how many picks we have with the Eagles. This is exactly what we're going to need this for. We're going to trade this 5th and request a 6th next year in return, moving up a lot of spots. Honestly, we're going to flip it to one of the earlier 5ths. I honestly feel like we should move up with a 4th, but we're going to move up with the 5th just for the algorithm. Plus, the Buccaneers don't need jack shit. So now, I mean, we could go Creed Humphrey here too. There's so many picks we could go with, but I think we got to fix up that defense, guys. Dylan Moses, Alabama, going to be the guy who we rock here. So that's going to be the end of the second round. Hope you guys enjoyed the first and second round, I guess. I will see you guys on the far side because I got to escape this storm. This winter storm's coming in. So peace.